The following is a special live presentation of Retro Sports Network. All of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Ron Juckert. Welcome to the program for this 28th day of October 2024. Today we have a doubleheader for you. We start at the Metrodome as we play the games of Thursday, whatever date this is. There's 4 days left in the season. We should hopefully get the regular season done this week in the playoffs to begin next Monday from Cincinnati with the Mets and the Reds in the National League. So here's the situation today. Twins are still a half game up on Kansas City, and they are about to play the Oakland A's, who don't really have much to play for. Freddie Joe Tolliver goes for the Twins, and I forgot who's going for the A's. And the nightcap, it'll be the Boston Red Sox with their first of 7. That's right, 7 chances to clinch. They need to win 1 over the weekend against Cleveland, or Toronto needs to lose 1 to Baltimore. So we'll see how far we get with that. So that's the seed for you as the Red Sox try to clinch their spot, which would just leave us with Minnesota and Kansas City for the potential last 3 streams of this regular season. Now, caveat, I need to be done by 1:45 or 2 hours and 15 minutes at the absolute latest. I have a 2 o'clock appointment to get to, so we are done no matter what at 1:45. So with all that, let's get to it. It's time for a doubleheader right here on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1988. Today, we start at the Metrodome from Minneapolis, Minnesota for the Minnesota Twins and the Oakland A's. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Well, safe to say this is everybody's last start of the year if you're a pitcher. Here's how the A's will line up. Louis Polonia in left will lead off. Stan Javier at first will bat second. Jose Canseco is in right field today. He'll go third. Dave Parker, the DH, will clean up. Dave Henderson in center will bat fifth. Terry Steinbach behind the plate goes sixth. Tony Phillips at third will bat seventh, so no Carney Lansford, no Mark McGuire. Glenn Hubbard at second will bat eighth, and Walt Weiss at short will bat ninth. Tolliver making his 19th and last start of the year, and he has pitched very well, thank you very much. 10-7 with a 3.41 ERA. He is 27 years old, fastball at 91, and a ground ball pitcher. Last start was 5 days ago. These are the games of September 29th. So back on the 24th, a 2-0 7-inning scoreless outing against the Angels, which he got the win. 93 pitches, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Overall, 105 2/3 for Freddie. 98 hits, 45 runs, 40 earned, 8 homers, 42 walks, and 70 strikeouts. Defensively for the Twins, it'll be Dan Gladden in left. He's an 8-7. Kirby Puckett at 10 and an 8 in center. Mark Davidson is a 5 and a 4 in right. Al Newman is a 3 at third. Greg Gagne is a 5 at short. Tommy Herr a 3 at second, or 5 at second. Gene Larkin a 3 at first. Gary Gaetti, by the way, is the DH. So that answers your question right there. We talked about this before. He will play in the playoffs if the Twins reach. And that is huge because Gaetti was having a Triple Crown year beforehand. So no Herbeck against Young. And the Angel will get a couple at-bats, and that's it. He's a 7 and a 6 behind the plate. Tolliver, a 7 on the mound with a .909 fielding percentage. So huge news for the Twins as Gary Gaetti, he may not be able to field, but he's certainly going to hit. Louis Polonia at 279, 2 homers, and 20 RBI as we get started here in Minnesota. struck him out. Tolliver got him on a 2-2 fastball. 1 out for Javier. Staying at 276, 4 triples and 34 RBI. And again, the Royals are off today. It's their last off day of the year. So either they will start the weekend in a flat-footed, well, they can't start in a flat-footed tie. 1 game apart or not. The Red Sox and Jays, the Jays do not play today. So the Red Sox can clinch or not on their own. We gave you Javier's numbers. There's a fly ball, left center. Puckett will move over. Kirby's there and makes a diving stop. Slides on the turf. His 38th great play of the year. And there's 2 out for Canseco. Canseco needs 2 homers over the weekend to hit the 40-40 club. He's hitting .304, 38 homers. He has stolen 44 bases and driven in 112. This is game 159 for Oakland and 159 for the Twins. So they'll have 3 left after this. Twins are 95 and 63, and they have the best record in baseball. Oakland 86 and 72. In fact, as we go into this last Thursday of the regular season, the spread between all potential playoff teams, all 5 or 6 of them, is 2 games. The Twins have the best record. The Mets and the Reds have 93 wins apiece. Boston, I believe, is 94. Pitch to Canseco is a fly ball left center. Puckett will move over and go back and make the catch, and that will retire the side. A's go in order. Half an inning in the books, no score. So the lefty Kurt Young making his last start of the year and has been pretty common for the A's over the course of the seasonal replay. The pitching has let them down. 11 and 7, a 5.03 ERA. He's 28 years old, fastball at 86, and a standard pitcher. Young last pitched 6 days ago against Milwaukee in a 10-3 win. 6 1/3, 108 pitches, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He gave up a homer, he walked 3, and struck out 1. Overall, 145 innings, 145 hits, 84 runs, 81 earned, 21 homers. He's walked 65 and struck out 66. Al Newman at third will lead off. Tommy Herr at second will bat second. Kirby Puckett in center will go third. The best news the Twins have had all year is the DH today. It's Gary Gaetti coming back from a knee injury, and so that will answer the question. If the Twins win, oh yeah, he's playing. He will clean up. He's a DH. Gene Larkin at first will bat fifth. Dan Gladden in left will go sixth. Mark Davidson in right will bat seventh. Greg Gagne at short batting eighth, and Tom Nieto behind the plate going ninth. Young can give you 110 pitches. That might get you 6 or 7. Louis Polonia is a 5 and a 3 in left. Dave Henderson is a 7 and a 4 in center. Canseco is a 6 and a 9 in right. Tony Phillips a 5 at third. Walt Weiss an 8 at short. Glenn Hubbard is a 6 at second. Stan Javier is a 3 at first. Steinbach is a 7 and a 7 behind the plate. And Young is a 7 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. Newman, not your prototypical leadoff hitter, at 198, 3 doubles and 23 RBI. Pitch to Newman, ground ball to Phillips. Tony throws over to Javier. Newman can run, but he can't run that fast. 1 out. So here's Tommy Herr. Tommy at 261, 3 homers and 26 RBI. Young deals. There's a ground ball again. Phillips' second verse is going to be close to the same verse. No, it's an error, and Herr's going to reach. So Phillips, what's he do with it? Is it a 1-base or a 2-base? Nope. The throw pulled Javier off the bag, and Tommy's on with an error. So 1 on, 1 out for Kirby Puckett. At 364, 25 homers and 122 RBI. Young deals. Kirby swings. Ground ball to Javier. They should get 2. Weiss for 1. And back to Javier for 2. So that'll do it. The error does not hurt. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. And after 1, no score. So Parker, Henderson, and Steinbach to face Tolliver here in the second. Dave at 259, 9 homers, and 56 RBI. And, oh, are you kidding me? Well, I'm not sure which of the rare plays gets adjusted here. Some nut ran on the field talking about body painting or whatever it was, and then the first base umpire appeared to get ill. And so what you didn't want was a bullpen game. You're indoors. And so after 23 minutes, we're back. I don't like that. So once again, Dave Parker digging in at 259, 9 homers, and 56 RBI. So Tolliver now is probably a 5-inning pitcher, and Young 5 to 6. Pitch to Parker. There's a fly ball to right. Davidson goes over and makes the catch. 1 out. So here's Dave Henderson at 297. 26 homers and 104 RBI. Pitch to Hindu. There's a ground ball to Gagne over to Larkin for the out. So 2 away for Terry Steinbach, hitting 285, 7 homers, and 41 RBI. Tolliver deals, and Steinbach hits a ground ball to Larkin. Mean Gene, the hit machine, takes it to the bag himself, and that will take care of business. A's go in order after an inning and a half, no score. And so here is the most welcome sight you've ever seen at the Homer Dome. Gary Gaetti, who has not played he played yesterday. No, I brought him in yesterday. Struck out. Oh, no. So the computer's been using him all along. His last start was August 15th. He got a couple starts against the White Sox in games that we didn't do. So he's obviously playing with the bum knee. At 335, 32 homers and 111 RBI. So here is the Kirk Gibson and Freddie Freeman of this replay. Pitch to Gaetti. Fly ball left field. Back goes Polonia, and there is 1 out. Polonia made a leaping catch against that 343 sign down in left field. Brings up Gene Larkin at 265, 11 homers, and 68 RBI. No score, second inning, first of 2, Oakland and the Twins. Pitch to Larkin. There's a slow ground ball to Weiss over to Javier. And Gene is retired, 2 away. For Dan Gladden, Gladden at 257, 12 homers and 58 RBI. Pitch from Young, and Gladden draws the walk. So the first base runner for the Twins. 2 out, full count walk. That missed just high. Mark Davidson hitting 245, 12 doubles, 2 homers, and 23 RBI. Gladden on first. That's up the middle and a base hit. So the Metrodome waiting to explode. And Gladden is going to go to third. Hindu got caught off guard with that. The throw is caught off by Weiss, and the Twins have runners on the corners and 2 out. For Greg Gagne, hitting 233, 17 homers, and 63 RBI. Pitch to Gagne. There's a base hit into left field, and Gladden's going to score. So the Twins draw first blood in this one on the RBI single. Davidson scampers to third. The Twins still have runners on the corners and 2 out for Tom Nieto, who plays baseball an awful lot like Ron Juckett. Badly. Hitting .053. He does have 2 RBI. This might be a case of hit or get hit. Young deals. There's a ground ball base hit. Are you kidding me? Davidson's going to score. Gagne is on his way to third. Henderson again isn't quite sure what to do. This time the throw goes into third, and Gagne's in there. And Tom Nieto, of all people, with the most unlikely hit you'll ever find. And the Twins go up 2-0. So the opening 9 for Young, 33 pitches, an inning and 2/3, 3 hits, and a walk. Again, runners on the corners. Nieto at first, Gagne at third, and Al Newman is 0 for 1. Slow chopper to Weiss. Walt has to hurry, snaps the throw to first, and they'll take care of business. However, the Twins break through 2 runs on 3 hits and no errors. And after 2, it's Minnesota 2, Oakland 0. So Phillips, Hubbard, and Weiss to face Tolliver here in the third. Tony at 206, 2 homers and 22 RBI. Hope you guys had a good weekend. Pitch to Phillips, ground ball to Newman. Has time to autograph it over to Larkin for the out. 1 out for a Hubbard at 266, 3 homers and 28 RBI. Pitch to Hubbard, ball 4, and that's the first base runner for Oakland. Tolliver has pretty good control. Full count fastball missed down low. Walt Weiss at 251, 3 homers and 54 RBI. Hubbard not going anywhere. Little ground ball to Larkin, and he will tag Weiss for the out. That was a bunt, and it worked. So it's a sacrifice, 3U. So opening 9 for Tolliver, 43 pitches, 2 2/3, a walk and a strikeout. Polonia, not a power threat, struck out his first time up. Got him again, and that'll take care of business. A 1-2 check swing fastball got him. So after 2.5, no runs, no hits, and no errors. It is the Twins 2, the A's 0. And so Puckett and Gaetti here to face Young in the third. Tommy is 0 for 1. Young starts the third. Base hit right field. Canseco will throw it in. Digging for 2, and Tommy has his 19th double. So runner on in scoring position for Kirby Puckett. Kirby 0 for 1. He grounded into a double play his first time up. Base hit left field. Should round third. Polonia doesn't have much of an arm, but they're going to hold Tommy there. And let's see what Gaetti can do. Gaetti with the crowd stirring is 0 for 1. Twins have runners on the corners and nobody out, and that's the 5th hit they've had in 2+ innings. Pitch from Young. There's a slow ground ball to Weiss. Is going to score. The Hubbard for 1, and Gaetti's going to reach. How about that? So on the fielder's choice, is going to score, and it's 3-0, despite the fact that Weiss made a fantastic stop just to even get that far. So 1 out, Gaetti on for Larkin. who is 0 for 1. Twins can't clinch today, obviously, but they can make life very difficult for the Royals over the weekend. Pitch to Larkin, slow ground ball to Weiss. This should be 2. Hubbard for 1, and Larkin's going to reach. So 2 out for Gladden, who walked and scored in the second. So this one so far has been all Twins. Pitch to Gladden. There's a fly ball to right. Canseco will track that down, and they'll take care of business. However, the Twins add a run on 2 hits and no errors. We go to the 4th here in Minneapolis. Twins 3, A's nothing. So Javier, Canseco, and Parker to face Tolliver here in the 4th. Stan is 0 for 1. Gagne waits for it. Has to throw in a hurry. Javier can run, and he beat it out. So that's the first hit for Oakland. Just kind of a cue ball off the bat of Javier. And Gagne had to wait for it. Here's Canseco, who was 0 for 1. I'm well, Tribe fan. How are you? Pitch to Canseco. Ball 4. So here come the A's. So nobody out. Runners on first and second for Dave Parker, who is 0 for 1. Tolliver in a bit of a jam here in the 4th. Twins are up 3-0. Might be 2. Gagne robs Parker of a hit. His only play was to first, and he got him. So 1 out. What a stop by Gagne. And that'll bring up Dave Henderson with runners in scoring position, who's 0 for 1. Want to add to the list of people giving condolences at the loss of Browns legendary announcer Jim Donovan, who passed away after a long battle with cancer over the weekend. Pitch to Henderson. There's a ground ball to Newman. They will take the Shore out at first. It'll be 3-1 Minnesota, but there's 2 out. When the Brownies came back in 1999, Donovan was their play-by-play guy, and up until this past year was the play-by-play guy for this incarnation of the Browns. Terry Steinbach is 0 for 1. Donovan was from Boston. Grew up a huge Bruins fan, and at a young age did a tour of duty on WVMT here in Burlington, Vermont. And so I can tell you, pitch to Steinbach is popped up. Nieto doffs the mask into foul territory and won't get there, and the count is 1-2. If there weren't a lot of 11-year-old kids from Pontley, Vermont, which is about an hour and a half away from Burlington, who listened to WVMT, but I did know who Jim Donovan was. And so he went off to Cleveland. He did, I think, never left their NBC, Channel 3, WKYC, and made himself a legend there, and he will be missed. The 1-2 to Steinbach struck him out. Tolliver got him, and now take care of business in the 4th. 1 run, however. The A's get a run on a hit, no errors. And after 3.5, it is Minnesota 3, Oakland 1. That's right. Send the clocks back. This past weekend, and I saw the clip of the announcers. I believe the guy that replaced Donovan was from ESPN, and they were in absolute tears. I saw that clip this morning as Cleveland beat Baltimore, the new Browns over the old Browns. And, yeah, that was only the Cleveland's second win of the year. Standings, as we said, everybody except for Toronto is within 2 games of each other. Twins a half-game lead over Kansas City. The Red Sox can clinch if they beat Cleveland in the second half of this doubleheader. And the Mets and the Reds looking for next week in Cincinnati. Davidson, the single, his first time up. Andrew Siciliano from NFL Network took over. Okay. Usually if you get the Browns gig, you're there until either death or the team moves. Sans Doug Deacon. I didn't know. I was watching some clips because, again, Donovan I knew from my early childhood. And, oop, did my cat move? My cat has been scared all morning. And he just, would show no emotion. Donovan would dance up and around and that, and Deacon would just kind of sit in a chair and go, yep, that's what happened. Pitch to Davidson. Ground ball to Hubbard. Glenn's got it, throws to first, and Davidson's retired. Greg Gagne singled and drove home a run his first time up. There is a strong bond between a football fan base and their radio crew, because with every NFL game being nationally televised or streamed in this day and age, that there are no local broadcasts of regular season games. They're all, supposedly neutral announcers. And so a lot of people for the longest time have turned down the sound on the TV and listened to their guys on the radio. Pitch to Gagne is a ground ball to Hubbard. Glenn throws to Javier for the out. So 2 away for Nieto, who had the most unlikely RBI single you'll ever have in the second. Deacon was a straight no-nonsense guy. Tim says also how important are the spotters to the announcers. Yep, you could tell. You watch the press box cameras and, yep, stats on the board and all that. If you watch those video clips, there's a guy pointing out, yep, the defensive players and the yardage. And, yes, it really is. And you don't see it because you only hear the voices, even on television. Such a team effort to put on a broadcast. Pitch to Nieto is a ground ball to third. Phillips has it over to Javier. And is Nieto going to beat that out? Yes, he will. Tom Nieto probably didn't have a 2-hit game all year. However, when it matters most for the Twins, he is 2 for 2. Imagine that. So Kurt Young, 54 pitches, 18 batters, 3 2/3, 6 hits, and a walk. Al Newman is 0 for 2. See Dufferman. Can't decide. 82, 84, 85, or 89. Who are you a fan of? That's where I would start. Pitch to Newman. Ball 4. So Young has kind of lost the script again. Here's Tommy Hurd. Tommy 1 for 2 with a double. And a run scored. In the center, Henderson should be there. He is. And that will take care of the Twins in the fourth. No runs, a hit. They've left on 2. 5 overall. And after 4, it's 3-1. So Tolliver, probably one more inning after that disruption of the second to face Phillips, Hubbard, and Weiss. Tony's 0 for 1. Twins into the 80s, but want to build on that. 85 was the year that 85 was the year that Kirby came into his own. If you're an A's fan, then obviously 89. That was their best team. Pitch to Phillips. Ball 4. Cardinals in 84 are speedy. We did 85 a couple years ago, and it was a tremendous replay. The House of Tudor. Glenn Hubbard walked his first time up. Drops one down. Tolliver goes to her covering, and Hubbard is retired. So Hubbard has 2 sack bunts. 1 out for Walt Weiss. Phillips on second. Pitch. Base hit left field. Gladden will pick it up. Phillips, is he going to hold it third? He is. So the A's have runners on the corners. 1 out for Polonia, who has struck out twice. Tolliver, 80 pitches. He should have 105, but we had a nut run on the field. And then the first place umpire got the sushi from the 7-Eleven down the street. That didn't work out very well. 4 1/3 for Freddie. 2 hits, 3 walks, and 3 strikeouts. 1 out, runners on the corners. Nieto feeling pretty good about himself after a 2-hit afternoon. Goes out to talk. That's a ground ball foul, and it'll be a 2-strike count. What was your 82? All 4 divisions were within 5 games. 84, great year for the Tigers, obviously. Pitch to Polonia. Ground ball to Gagne. This should be 2. Nope. There's only a 1% chance to get the 2. But they'll try it. Her for 1, and Polonia is going to reach. So Phillips will score. So it's a 3-2 ball game. But there are 2 outs. For Stan Javier, who is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored. Polonia goes. The throw down to Gagne, and he is in there for his 24th steal. So the tying run is in scoring position, and Tolliver, that tank is at just about E. So a 1-strike count to Javier. 1 for 2 of the runs scored. Fly ball left center. Tolliver is eligible now for the win because he's through 5. Halfway home, it snowed this morning in Burlington. How about that? It is the Twins 3, the A's 2. So if you joined us late, 1st to 2 on the channel this lunchtime. The Twins lead the A's 3-2. 3 runs, 6 hits, no errors from Minnesota. 2 runs, 2 hits, an error for Oakland. And we do have to be gone by 1:45 at the absolute latest. So there was a delay with an ill ump and a deranged fan in the second. Then Minnesota responded with 2 in the bottom of the second. Greg Gagne, an RBI single to score Dan Gladden, and Tom Nieto with an RBI single to score Mark Davidson, 2-0. In the third, they made it a 3-0 game. Gary Gaetti, so the answer to your question about whether he's playing in the postseason if they win, the answer to that is yes. Hit a ground ball, fielder's choice to make it 3-0. Oakland has scratched 2 back. Dave Henderson, a fielder's choice in the 4th, and Louis Polonia, a fielder's choice in the 5th. A well-placed fan interaction despite Morgana, right? Going out there to suck face with Kurt Young. Kurt's gone 4 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and 2 walks. Freddie Tolliver, a 5-inning performance. He's done. 2-hitter. 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. You imagine watching a game in the 80s and having either, Vinny Scully or a Ralph Kiner go. And so when Puckett stepped into the box, out came this voluptuous woman who wanted to suck his face. No, you would never hear that. It's something that would actually never happen on a Fortnite stream either. Kirby is 1 for 2. He's got himself a single. Twins have 6 hits in this one. A's have 2. Ground ball, left side base hit. So Kirby is in there with a single. And that'll bring up Gaetti, who is an RBI on a fielder's choice. Gary, that wheel may not be in great shape, but it's good enough to DH. Pitch to Gary, popped up, left side, Weiss. That's a rainmaker, which is pretty good since we're indoors. and will make the catch 1 out for Gene Larkin, who is 0 for 2. So Kurt Young has not covered himself in clover, but that A's offense is pretty good. Ball 4, so first and second for Dan Gladden, who has walked, scored, and is 0 for 1. Ground ball left side, that's going to get through. So Puckett, is he going to hold? Yes, he is. So bases loaded and 1 out. And gentleman Jim Corsi's coming in to pitch. So John Davidson's little brother will come in to the plate. Corsi is 27. He is 2-1, a September call-up, or a late season call-up. 2-1 with a 2.82 ERA. He did get a start. He last pitched on September 8th. He went 3 1/3 against the Royals. 50 pitches. He took the loss in a 4-3 ball game. 3 hits, an earned run, and a strikeout. Go Twins. How are you, Triple G? 22 1/3 for Jim. 23 hits, 14 runs, 7 earned. The fielding hasn't been that great behind him. The home run came against Seattle on August 7th. He walked 10 and struck out 8. Davidson will stay in the game. Bases loaded, 1 out, in a 3-2 Twins lead. Gagne and Nieto to follow, and Tom Nieto's had a 2-hit day. Pitch to Davidson. Fly ball to right. That's shallow. Canseco will grab it. Kirby watching all the way. And he's going to run. He's going to throw to Steinbach. Is not in time. Kirby claps his hands as he goes back to the Twins dugout. It's 4-2. So here's Gagne. Greg is 1 for 2. RBI and a single. Not necessarily in that order. So the Twins again have a 2-run lead. Pitch to Gagne. There's a ground ball left side. Base hit. Larkin. Is he going to run on Polonia's arm? Yes, he is. And it's 5-2. Poloni just throws it back in. The Twins are playing like a team that wants to sell tickets for next weekend. So here's Nieto. Tom only had 4 hits and 60 at-bats. He's had 5 in the replay, and 2 of them are in this game. With an RBI. So one of those strange things that happens that can just kind of only happen in baseball. Pitch to Nieto. Tom strikes out. Of course, he got out of it, but the Twins punch 2 in on 3 hits. They've left on 7. We go to the 6th in a 5-2 game. So they're going to go with Roy Smith. Who is scheduled to start Sunday's game. Roy is 27. He is 3-1 with a 2.20 ERA. He is a fastball pitcher, 85, and a ground ball pitcher. How you doing, Mike in the truck? Smith last pitched against the Angels on the 25th. He went 1 inning on 5 pitches and a hit. He beat the A's on September 21st up in Oakland. 32 2/3 for Roy. 22 hits, 11 runs. How you doing, Forever Remain 90? 8 of those runs for Smith are earned. 3 homers, 7 walks, and 14 strikeouts. Canseco, Parker, and Henderson to face him. Again, Smith will go Sunday. This is Thursday, so won't go a full distance, but if the Twins do what they're supposed to do, which is win, then Sunday's game won't matter. Pitch to Canseco. There's a ground ball to third. Newman has it over to Larkin. And Canseco's running and running, and he is out on a bang-banger. So that'll bring up Dave Parker. Dave survived the ravages of getting his face sucked on by a random fan. Dave is 0 for 2. Andrew. Well, yep. We got a little dusting. My mom got a little more than a dusting where she lives. But yes, it snowed in town overnight. Pitch to Parker. Ground ball to Larkin. Mean Gene to hit machine to the bag. And that will be the second out. So 2 out for Hendu, who is 0 for 2 with an RBI. There's a fly ball, right center. Puckett, moving over, makes the catch, and we're through 5.5. No runs, no hits, no errors. Twins 5, A's 2. So Corsi to face Newman, Her, and Puckett here in the 6th. Al, 0 for 2 with a walk. Center field. Henderson doesn't even have to move. He could have brought him a blizzard, a hot dog, and whatever he wanted, and he would have made the catch. 1 out. Tommy Herr is 1 for 3. He has doubled and scored in this one. Twins win this. They are 1 up with 3 to play. Right back to Corsi, over to Javier, and Tommy is retired. So 2 out for Puckett, who is 2 for 3. He now has 241 hits on the year. He also scored in the 5th. There's a fly ball to right. Back goes Canseco, and it's a 6-2 game. Kirby Puckett hits his 26th of the year. Even Bud Grant let out a crack of a smile on that one as that one cleared the football seats. Over the hefty bag. My word. All Canseco could do is turn and watch it go. That's Dufferman's guy. So here's Guy Eddie. And if you missed it, the Twins have been using him as a DH. So guess who gets to play in the playoffs? Someone who was a threat to win the Triple Crown. He's 0 for 3 today, and he draws the walk. So 2 out for Larkin. And they'll bring in Ken Herbeck. Herbeck as a pinch hitter, 167 and 2 RBI. Overall, 305, 24 homers, and 98 RBI. Canseco covered his head, just in case. Talk about how, people can change in a hurry. You're talking about the era where Canseco was absolutely revered. And now he's best known not for being a prodigious home run hitter or his vitamin B12 taking skills, but for having a home run bounce off his head at the old Cleveland Stadium. Pitch to Herbeck, and Herbeck draws the walk. So first and second, 2 out for Gladden. Of course, he takes a hard gulp. Dan is 1 for 2. He has walked and scored. Base hit right side. Gaetti. He's got the Kirk Gibson gimp going on, but he's going to try and score. Canseco will throw to the plate, I'd imagine. Nope, it's cut off in the infield, and Gaetti claps his hands at 7-2. The Oakland A's have played the last month of the season playing like a team that knew it was going to be watching the playoffs on television. Here's Mark Davidson. Mark is 1 for 2. He has singled, scored, and driven in a run. First and second, pitch to Davidson. Slow ground ball to Hubbard. He'll go to first. Javier is there, and that will retire the side. 2 runs, however, more for the Twins on 2 hits and no errors. And after 6, it's Minnesota 7, Oakland 2. So Steinbach, Phillips, and Hubbard to face Smith here in the 7th. The game insists I have 9 fielders. Herbeck is a 3. So Steinbach, as we said, 0 for 2 with a K. To Tommy Herr, over to Herbeck, 1 out. So for Tony Phillips, Tony 0 for 1, a walk, and a run scored. Smith will wait as Don Baylor. I'm dying to know what they do with this now. Baylor at 210. 6 homers and 25 RBI. Not a bad pinch hitter, hitting 273, 2 homers and 4 RBI. A popular baseball podcaster from Massachusetts says there are only 2 guys who asked to be paid to appear. Canseco. Oh, Sully? Rose? Pitch to Baylor. And it hit him. Well, Don Baylor does what Don Baylor does best. Hit or get hit. So 1 out for Hubbard, who has bunted twice and walked. And he walks again. So first and second, 1 out for Walt Weiss, who singled and has bunted. So 7-2, 1 out, 7th inning. Roy Smith in relief of Freddie Tolliver. That doesn't surprise me about Rose. Fly ball to right. Davidson in the foul territory will make the catch. Baylor will not tag. Davidson had to gather himself and actually made a pretty good throw to second. So 2 out for Polonia, who is 0 for 3. He has struck out twice, driven in a run, and stolen a base. So first and second, Smith deals. Base hit right field. Davidson will grab it again. Let's see what Baylor does. Don huffing and a puffing as he rounds third and will score without a throw. But because the Twins have built up some insurance, it's a 7-3 ball game. For Stan Javier, who is 1 for 3. He has singled and scored. I wonder if they'll bring in McGuire now with Hubbard on second and Polonia on first. Nope. Line drive to her. Stretch time 7-3. So Gagne, Nieto, and Newman to face Corsi here in the 7th. A's got a run on a hit, and they've left on 5. Gagne is 2 for 3 in this one. He has 2 singles and 2 RBI. Ground ball to Corsi, first base side, and that's an error. Corsi tried to rush the issue, and Gagne was going to beat it out anyway. But the throw is bad. And Javier wasn't on the bag. He reached back to tag, and there wasn't anybody to tag. The Tom Nieto experiment is over. They will go with Brian Harper, who will stay in the game to catch. He has an RBI as a pinch hitter, but not a hit. Overall, hitting .301. 2 homers and 34 RBI. 7-3 Twins. And if they win, they go into the last weekend of the season with a 1-game lead. with 3 to play. Base hit right center. And Harper has got 2 with ease. His 9th double of the year. So second and third, nobody out for Al Newman, who was 0 for 3 with a walk. That's a line drive to center. Henderson is there. Gagne watching. Henderson will throw to the plate, and that is out. They got him. An unlikely double play, because I thought he was too far down the line when he started to go after the tag. And Henderson with a strike to Steinbach, and there's 2 out on the double play. 882. That sounds like a phone number, doesn't it? Here's Tommy Hurd. Tommy 1 for 4. A double and a run scored. Jim Corsi tips his hat to Henderson in center field. Ground ball to third. Lansford, who's a 4 out there, comes in the game late. Throws to Javier. And that'll do. The Twins do not score. They get the hit, and the A's make the error, and it doesn't hurt. We go to the 8th, 7-3 Minnesota. So Canseco 0 for 2 with a walk. And it tells me I need a catcher. Harper, a 4 and a 4, dons the tools of ignorance. And again, Canseco 0 for 2 with a walk. Pitch from Smith to start the 8th. Fly ball to left. Gladden will move over, make the catch in foul territory. Leans up against the half wall and made the catch. 1 out. For Dave Parker, who is 0 for 3. Smith winds and fires. Struck him out. A 1-2 fastball outside. Got him looking. So 2 out for Hendu, who had that double play in the 7th. He is 0 for 3 with an RBI. Base hit right or left field. That's extra bases. Gladden will have to fish that out. Newman dove, but he dove late. And Henderson is into second. Maybe? Yep, he is. With his 39th double of the year. So 2 out for Steinbach, who is 0 for 3 with a K. What is Sully doing these days? He hasn't done a... He did a lot of those podcasts years ago, but that's not a name I haven't heard in a long time. Pitch to Steinbach. Here's a ground ball to Gagne. He'll throw it to Herbeck. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. A's threaten but do not score. They get a hit. They've had 4 overall, and they've left on 6. Bottom 8 here at the Homer Dome. 7-3 Twins. So here's Kirby Puckett. It'll be Puckett, Gaetti, and Herbeck in the 8th. Off of Corsi, who's gone 2 2/3. Kirby is 3 for 4. He homered his last time up. He now has 26 on the year. Pitch to Kirby. Ground ball to Hubbard. Over to Javier. And Kirby is out. Gaetti is 0 for 3. He has walked, driven in his 112th. And... and scored. Not who you were talking about. Carabas's podcast. Okay. Pitch to Gaetti. Fly ball left field. Back goes Polonia, and that is long gone. Gary Gaetti has hit his 34th. And the Twins, or his 33rd rather, and it's an 8-3 ball game. That was hammered. Hit that one to Bemidji. They felt that one in Young America. Ken Herbeck walked his first time up. 8-3 Twins. And they are 3 outs away from a 1-game lead with 3 to go. That hit the mound. Hubbard waited for it. Throws to first. 2 out. For Dan Gladden, who is 2 for 3. Dan has singled twice, driven in a run, scored, and walked. Why does the Action PC Baseball hate those 88 A's? I don't know. And Gladden walks. Corsi is out of pitches. He's already thrown 85. Here's Mark Davidson. Mark 1 for 3. A single, an RBI, and a run scored. Corsi stays in the game and walks Davidson. And Rick Honeycutt comes in to pitch. Honeycutt, 52nd appearance, 5-0, a 2.85 ERA. 34 years old. And the fly ball pitcher, fastball 85. He hasn't pitched in almost a week. In a 10-3 win over Milwaukee, he went 2 2/3, 42 pitches, a hit, and a strikeout. Overall, 72 2/3, 68 hits, 26 runs, 23 earned, 4 homers, 25 walks, and 43 strikeouts. First and second, here's Gagne, who's 2 for 4, and has 2 singles and 2 RBI. The A's pitching this year just wasn't good. First and second, Gagne strikes out. However, the Twins get a run on a hit and no errors. I'll do it for Smith because he's pitching Sunday. After 8, it's the Twins 8, Oakland 3. It'll be Keith Atherton. 3 4, a 2.59 ERA, 56th appearance. 29 years old, fastball 87, and a fly ball pitcher. You got Reardon if you need him. He pitched earlier in this series. 8-5 win. He went 1 inning, 12 pitches, and allowed 2 hits. 76 innings for Keith, 63 hits, 24 runs, 22 earned, 9 homers. He's walked 25, struck out 31, and if you open up his 1989 baseball card, you might not mind getting it. It'll be Carney Lansford, Hubbard, and Weiss to face Atherton here. A's need 5 to tie and 6 to go ahead. Carnage at 277, 10 homers, and 73 RBI. Didn't you always hate it when you open up that pack of cards? You're always looking for the superstars or whatever, and you get middle relievers. Pitch Doug Jennings? No. Pitch to Lansford. Ground ball to Newman. Over to Herbeck. Carney's a 300 hitter. You're not pinch hitting for him. Pinch hit for Glenn Hubbard if you want, who has bunted twice and walked twice. 1 out. Yep. Now tell me, OY's outcome box, was this a good move? Wow, a whopping 5 points. Jennings at 215, a homer and 8 RBI. Overall, 133 and 3 RBI as a pinch hitter. Pitch to Doug. Struck him out. Last chance saloon for the A's is Walt Weiss, who is 1 for 2. And now Mark McGwire will pinch hit. McGwire does not have a pinch hit appearance. So overall, 273, 32 homers, and 106 RBI. Won the offense that failed for Oakland. Atherton with a 5-run cushion. Winds and deals. Into left center. Puckett will track this down, and the Twins go into the weekend with a 1-game lead. 3 hours and 15 minutes. 8 runs, 13 hits, no errors for the Twins. They left on 12. The A's, 3 runs, 4 hits, and 2 errors, and they left on 6. So Freddie Tolliver closes his regular season with a 5-inning win. He goes to 11-7, 2 hits, 2 runs, both earned. He walked 3 and struck out 3. Smith, 3 innings, 2 hits, an earned run, a walk, and a strikeout. He could have gone 75. He went 47. He will pitch the closing regular season game for the Twins on Sunday. Keith Atherton, a clean inning. In fact, on 13 pitches, he threw 12 strikes. Kurt Young, it kind of sums up the A's season right there. 4 1/3, 8 hits, 5 runs, all earned, and 3 walks. Of course, he gave up the 2 homers, Gaetti and Puckett, 3 1/3, 5 hits, 3 runs, all earned, and 4 walks, and Honeycutt retired the lone man that he faced. So that is the first of 2. Remember, I have an hour and around 10 minutes to get the Red Sox-Indians game in. The Twins' magic number is 4 at 96 and 63. Oh, we can do that. Does Kansas City keep pace? No, they don't. So the Twins get a gift. Chicago goes in and beats them 8-5. The Hall of Famer, Harold Baines, 3 doubles. It was Donnie Hill. It was, let's see, George Brett tied the game in the 4th. Dave Gallagher, an RBI single in the 7th. Donnie Hill, a sac fly in the 8th. And then Ozzie Guillen with an RBI single to go 8-5. So let's cancel that out. And we can tell you that the Twins' magic number now is 3 with a 1.5 game lead. I believe Kansas City and Chicago close out against each other. The Twins are home, and they have 3 against the Angels. Viola, Lee, and Smith to finish out the season. So if they sweep, it's over. Kansas City has 4 against Chicago. And they will close with Leibrandt, Gubiza, and Saberhagen. Now, the good news, if you're a Royals fan, is that Gubiza and Saberhagen are 20-game winners. But they are behind the 8 ball now. Now! Game 2 of our doubleheader right after this. So it looks like that the West is certainly leaning in Minnesota's direction. Now, what the Red Sox need to do here is they have 4 chances to win this on their own without any help from the Orioles or the Jays. Starting with Mike Boddicker right now. He will face Rod Nichols. We'll tell you about him in a moment. So the Red Sox, if you were with us the last time, clinched a tie for the American League East because they won their last home game over Toronto. So the Indians, who've not had a bad year, 79-79, go against the Red Sox at 94-64. So let's tell you how they line up. Wade Boggs leads off at third. Marty Barrett at second, will bat second. Dwight Evans in right will go third. Mike Greenwell cleans up in left. Todd B. bats 5th and plays 1st. Ellis Burks in center will bat 6th. Jim Rice, the DH, will bat 7th. Jody Reed at short goes 8th, and Rich Gedman behind the plate 9th. Nichols can get you 7-8 innings. Weather shouldn't be a factor. We did not fly Morgana to game 2. Nichols is 2-3 with a 3.80 ERA. He's 24 years old. Fastball at 86, the ground ball pitcher. We'll see if Tim has any naughty memories of Nichols. Rod, last pitched 5 days ago, 7 1/3 in a loss to the Jays. He had no decision. 123 pitches, 7 hits. All 4 runs were earned. He walked 3 and struck out 5. 68 2/3, 68 hits, 31 runs, 29 earned. 4 homers. He walked 22 and struck out 38. Wade Boggs. Well, let's set the defense for you for Cleveland, first of all. Mel Hall at 5 2 and left. Joe Carter at 8 5 in center. Corey Snyder a 7 9 in right. Brooke Jacoby is a 6 at third. Jay Bell is 6 at short. Julio Franco was a 5 at second. Terry Francona, legend of the Indians, legends of the Guardians, legend of the Red Sox, is a 4 at first. Andy Allenson is a 6 and a 5 behind the plate. Nichols is a 6 on the mound with a .933 fielding percentage. 9-year-old Tim did not have many memories of this putrid pitching staff other than Candiotti, Swindell, and Jones. Yep. Boggs at 356, 3 homers, and 81 RBI. Sox win, it's over in the East. Pure and simple. Wade Boggs starts the game with a walk. When the Red Sox won the American League in 1946, Marty Barrett at 299, no homers and 56 RBI. It happened in Cleveland. That's where they won the clincher. But it didn't happen in this ballpark, which opened in 1934. Pitch to Barrett. Base hit up the middle. Carter will pick it up. Boggs is going to hold. It happened downtown at League Park. One of the last years that Cleveland played in 2 parks. The Red Sox would go on to lose the World Series. Dwight Evans at 292, 25 homers and 100 RBI. Pitch to Evans. Ground ball to first. Francona is going to misplay it. And the bases are loaded. So Terry kind of looks sheepishly. It's only his second game at first. And here is Mike Greenwell, who has 2 grand slams on the year. He's hitting .320. Your guess is as good as ours, whether it will be Greenwell or Puckett as the MVP in the American League. He has 25 home runs and 131 RBI. The bases are loaded. Boggs on third, Barrett on second, Evans on first, and nobody out. To short. This should be 2. Bell to Franco for 1, and there is no throw to first. So they get the force. Boggs will score, and here is Todd B. at 261. Benzinger with 10 home runs and 55 RBI, and the Red Sox have a 1-0 lead. Nichols deals. Struck him out. 2 out for Ellis Burks. Oh, there you are. I hear a cat. Did she come out? Sarah? She's out. I hear her. They came to clean out our bathroom vents today, and it spooked the daylights out of our cat, who has been hiding for the last 2 hours. Ellis Burks at 283, 18 homers and 107 RBI. First and third, 2 out. Ground ball to Franco, who will throw it to Terry Francona, and Burks is retired. I guess the Cats had enough baseball for one day. 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 error. And after half an inning, it's Boston 1, Cleveland coming up. So here's how the Indians will line up. Julio Franco will lead off at second. My wife does not want to listen to any more baseball either. She shakes her head no. The cat has reemerged from wherever she was. Terry Francona at first will bat second. Joe Carter in center will go third. Dave Clark, who believes in bits and pieces, will be the DH. He'll clean up. Corey Snyder, who doesn't wear his sunglasses at night, is in right field. He'll bat fifth. Mel Hall, the less said the better, is in left. He'll go sixth. Andy Allenson will bat seventh behind the plate. Brooke Jacoby at third will bat eighth. Jay Bell at short goes ninth. And Boddicker can get you about 6 or 7. Since coming over, this is his 13th start. He will get kind of an excuse me start Sunday, which hopefully won't mean anything for the Red Sox. He is 6-1 with a 3.11 ERA. 31 years old, fastball at 88, and an extreme ground ball pitcher. He pitched against the Yankees 5 days ago in a game we did here on Retro Sports Network. In a 4-0 win, he went 8 innings, 115 pitches, 3 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. So since coming over for Kurt Schilling and Brady Anderson, 75 1/3 for Mike, 88 hits, 32 runs, 26 earned, 3 homers, 25 walks, and 54 strikeouts. Defensively for the Red Sox, it'll be Mike Greenwell a 5 and a 3 in left, Ellis Burks a 7 and a 5 in center, Dwight Evans a 6 and an 8 in right, Wade Boggs is a 7 at third, Jody Reed a 3 at short, Marty Barrett a 5 at second, Todd B a 2 at first, Gedman an 8 and a 7 behind the plate, Boddicker a 6 on the mound, and did not commit an error with the Red Sox in 88. Franco at 296, 12 homers and 64 RBI. Julio, ground ball to third. Boggs, long throw, 1 out. It'll be Francona hitting 300, no homers and 16 RBI. We'll have a single game for you Wednesday. And if you did doubleheader for you on Thursday, but who does what all depends on where goes what or where. Pitch to Francona. There's a fly ball, right center. Burks moving over, makes the catch, 2 out. For Joe Carter, who has had a tremendous year, hitting 293, 30 homers, and 112 RBI. Got him. So Boddicker has a clean first. Carter chased an 0-2 fastball, and that'll do it. After 1, Boston 1, Cleveland nothing. So Rice, Reed, and Gedman to face Nichols here in the second. Jim at 268, 18 homers, and 90 RBI. My plan is to have the regular season done this week. Pitch to Rice. Base hit left field. Bell couldn't get there. And Rice has the second Red Sox hit. Here's Jody Reed. Jody at 304. No homers and 32 RBI. If the East is settled, we'll take a look-see to see what we'll do. The playoffs, presuming that I can start them Monday, will start in Cincinnati. Mets and Reds, Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. Pitch to Reed. There's a fly ball, left field, Hall, out of play. Two and two the count. Base hit right field. Snyder will pick it up. Rice will hold it second. The Red Sox look every bit like they want to get this done right now. Here's Gedman. Rich at 249 homers and 37 RBI. To Nichols. Franco for 1. and Francona for 2. So Gedman grounds into a 1-4-3 double play. Rice goes to third, opening 9 for Nichols, 36 pitches. That's not bad. Inning and 2/3, that's not good. 3 hits, the run is earned. No, it's not. It's an unearned run. A walk and a strikeout. And the error on Francona. Boggs walked and scored in the first. Rice on third. Boggs draws another walk. Todd B recognizes himself. Todd B wearing a Indians logo in his avatar and is playing first base for the Red Sox. He is a multi-talented human being. Marty Barrett singled his first time up. So first and third, 2 out. Base hit, left center field. Rice is going to score. Boggs is going to go to third. Hall has a bad arm, and that's on Jay Bell. So runners on the corners. Jay playing like he's got a golf tee time on Monday. So first and third for Dewey, who's 0 for 1. 2-0 Red Sox here in the second. And if the Red Sox win, then it's American League West all the way. Struck him out. So Nichols keeps it close. So 1-2 curve, and Evans looked at it. Wanted fastball, got a curve. Red Sox get a run on 3 hits. They've left on 4 all told after an inning and a half. It's Boston 2, Cleveland nothing. So Dave Clark, Corey Snyder, and Mel Hall to face Boddicker here in the second. Dave at 290, 3 homers and 21 RBI. Boddicker deals, ground ball to third. Boggs to Benzinger, and there is 1 out. So provided that the Red Sox do win this, remember the Twins close against California in Minneapolis. The Royals close against the White Sox in Kansas City. And on the odd chance that those 2 teams finish tied, game 163 will be in Minneapolis. Corey Snyder at 275, 26 homers and 80 RBI. Base hit left field. And Greenwell has it scoot off his glove. So Snyder's going to second at least. That hit the ground and then skipped off Greenwell's glove, and Burks had to go find it. So both teams have an error. Now, remind you, the Browns have already played here this season, so this field is about as pristine as people coming out of a nightclub at 3 in the morning. Here's Mill Hall at 268, 7 homers and 52 RBI. Pitch to Mill. Base hit left field. This time Greenwell will pick it up on a hop. Snyder will take a long look around third. Greenwell's arm isn't all that great. The throw to the plate is going to be closer than I thought, but he will get in there. And the Indians are on the board 2-1. So the lead is cut in half. Here's Andy Allenson at 291, 4 homers and 50 RBI. The error hurt. All not going anywhere. Fly ball left field. Greenwell looked good off the bat, but died. The wind, by the way, out to right at 9. So up towards Buffalo and 70 degrees. Brooke Jacoby at 227, 9 homers and 63 RBI. To third, Boggs over to first, and the rally is cut down. Indians get a run on 2 hits in the air by Greenwell. We go to the third. Boston 2, Cleveland 1. Mike Greenwell is 0 for 1. He did drive in his 132nd run of the year, which is an absolutely phenomenal number. Nichols starts the third. Right back to Rod, 1 out. Todd B, wearing a Cleveland t-shirt under his Red Sox jersey, struck out his first time up. Nichols deals to Benzinger. Line drive to Franco. 2 out. For Ellis Burks is 0 for 1. The folks in the Indians Public Affairs Office would like me to remind you that if the Red Sox do make the season meeting list the rest of the weekend, that George Hendrick Appreciation Day will be Saturday. First pitch at 2 o'clock. Come or not. Pitch to Burks. Got him. That's 3 for Nichols, and that'll do it. No runs, no hits. The Sox go in order. Bottom 3, 2-1, Boston. Tribe Fan and Todd B., who I'm not convinced aren't the same person. I mean, have you ever seen the two of them together in the same room? Who do you think you are? Steve Everett, you can wear one team's colors and a different team's colors underneath. It's called hedging your bets, Tim. Hendrick Appreciation Day was canceled. George overslept. Jay Bell at 199, 3 homers and 15 RBI. Ball 4, Jay draws the walk. So Franco is 0 for 1. Boddicker, opening 9, 46. 2+ innings, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. And remember, if you were with us for the last doubleheader on Thursday, the Red Sox did not need to use Lee Smith. Bruce Hurst threw an absolute gem. So that pen is as fully rested as you can get. Might be 2 here. Benzinger. Boddicker goes over to cover, so they'll get the sure out there, and Franco is retired. Bell moves to second. He is a tying run. 1 out for Tito Francona. Terry is 0 for 1. Boddicker from the stretch. Reed, way in on the grass, makes a snap throw. Francona's running, and he beat it out. That was going to be a tough play. Jay Bell didn't move. Reed just kind of looked at Bell the second he had the ball. And so a rare occasion where you get an infield hit and the runner doesn't move up. For Joe Carter, who struck out his first time up. So the Indians trying to delay the Red Sox party. Here's the pitch to Carter. Fly ball, left center. Burks moves over, makes the catch. Francona and Bell go back. Good throw to Boggs at third. 2 out for Clark, who's 0 for 1. Hendrick bobblehead day is next weekend, but George's head will not bobble. Too much effort. Should get George Hendrick on the podcast. That'd be funny. Pitch to Clark. Runners on first and second, 2 out, and Clark draws the walk. So Boddicker making me reach for the Maylocks. Mike has thrown 69 pitches in 2 2/3. I think it was midlife crisis. John told me that he threw a 2-hit shutout in this game in real life. Corey Snyder singled and scored in the second. Bases loaded. Base hit down the line and left. Bell will score. Francona with no speed is going to score. Greenwell picks it up. Clark is going to score. And the Indians make it a 4-2 game. A bases clearing double by Corey Snyder. And the Indians have a 3 spot on the board. For Mel Hall, who has an RBI single. Into right center, Burks makes the catch to retire the side. Well. Someone is playing a spoiler today. 3 runs, 2 hits, and no errors. We go to the 4th here at Cleveland Stadium, 4-2, home team. So Rice, Reed, and Gedman to face Nichols here in the 4th. Jim Ed singled and scored in the first. Or the second, rather. He is going to send this one to Carter in left center, and Joe is there, 1 out. Jody Reed singled his first time up. Both teams have 4 hits. The Red Sox have left on 4. Cleveland has left on 2. Pitch to Reed. Base hit up the middle. 5th hit for the Sox. Gedman grounded into a double play, and at the time it didn't seem to be a fortuitous moment in the ballgame. But Cleveland has responded with 4 on their own. Reed on first. That's a base hit into left field. Jody's going to hold in second, I would think. Hall, what's he going to do with it? Nope, he throws it in and Reed takes the extra base. So runners on the corners and 1 out for Wade Boggs. Nichols, 18 batters, 68 pitches, 3 1/3, 6 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Boggs has walked twice and scored once, so Wade hasn't taken the bat on, put the bat on the ball. Nichols on the 69-degree night wipes his brow, gets a visit from Allenson, and deals. Base hit up the middle. Reed's going to score. It's 4-3. You know, the Red Sox have kind of played like the little engine that could all year. They keep going and going and going. They think they can. And with 1 out here in the 4th, it's 4-3. For Marty Barrett, Marty has singled twice and driven in a run. 1st and 2nd, 1 out. That might be 2. Jacoby goes to Franco for 1. And no, Barrett goes to first. There was no throw. So 2 out. Runners on the corners for Dwight Evans, who finally drove in his 100th run. He had plenty of chances against the Jays. He is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. So it's Cleveland 4, Boston 3, 2 out in the 4th. Fly ball left field. Hall will grab that. And the side is retired. We showed you the standings already. 1 run, 3 hits, and no errors. The Red Sox have left on 6 because they're the Red Sox. After 3.5, Cleveland 4, Boston 3. So Boddicker, who has been about as sharp as a first grader's scissors today, will face Allenson, Jacoby, and Bell. Andy is 0 for 1. Boddicker starts the 4th. Base hit up the middle. I wonder if the Red Sox got into the bubbly as Jody Reed gets credited for the bad play on the flight from Boston. It's a tie. It's not a win yet. Jacoby's 0 for 1. Runner on first is Allenson. That might be 2. Reed, Barrett for 1, and Benzinger for 2. So a 6-4-3 double play gets Jody out of the hot seat. 2 out for Bell, who walked and scored. Boddicker not going to go forever in this game, but needed that double play. Pitch to Bell. Struck him out. So after 4, no runs, a hit. The double play is your best friend. After 4, 4-3 Indians. So Greenwell, Benzinger, and Burks to face Nichols. Mike is 0 for 2 and has driven in his 132nd run. Well, when we finally get over with this season, we will play the Yankee-Dodger World Series because they are the top 2 seeds. And in January, we do 1956. There's a fly ball to right. Snyder, 1 out. I've been playing offline, and we'll do another video once I finish Week 2, the 81 NFL season, selected teams in Solitaire Pro Football. I love that game. Todd B is 0 for 2. Benzinger is struck out. I will tell you that Danny White has thrown 7 interceptions in 2 games. Also been doing a what-if with the 2017 Washington Nationals using roster card baseball. Pitch to Benzinger is a base hit left center field. Hall will throw it back in. So 1 out for Burks. Ellis is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Dave says the channel leads. If I could stream Solitaire Pro Football, I would, but I am not allowed. I can show you the helper, but that's all I can show you. And it would make for a clunky broadcast. Base hit or ground ball. Bell Franco for 1 because I know my difference between hits and outs. And the throw to first is not in time. Burks beat it out. He has 27 steals, 2 out for Rice, who is 1 for 2, a single and a run scored. Tribe fan with some plausible deniability in the chat says, I can guarantee. Oh, yeah. The word that Todd B is not his clone. It's because Cleveland baseball fan is George Hendrick, and we just didn't know it yet. You liked the fishing, huh? That was fun. Jim Rice is 1 for 2. Has himself a run scored and a single. Nichols throws to first, and Burks is back. 8 hits for the Red Sox, 5 for the Indians. Rice into right. Snyder, that's hooking. And Snyder made the catch against the half wall. How about that? Halfway home through game 2 of this doubleheader. They are partying hard in Toronto. The Indians 4, the Red Sox 3. Charlie Moore, I'm not, Todd. If you joined us late, the Twins beat the A's handily, and then the White Sox, in a quick sim, beat the Royals. So the Twins have a 1.5 lead with 3 to go. Cleveland leads the Red Sox 4-3 in this one. Mike Greenwell, a fielder's choice to make it 1-0 in the first. Marty Barrett, an RBI single to score Rice in the second. Then the Indians have come back. Mel Hall, a single to make it 2-1 to score Corey Snyder. Then Snyder cleared the bases on a double in the third to make it 4-2. Wade Boggs got one back in the fourth to make it 4-3. So Mike Boddicker, 4 innings, 5 hits, 4 runs, all earned. 2 walks and 2 strikeouts. Rod Nichols, 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 runs, both 2 earned. 2 walks and 3 strikeouts. Boddicker, giving me the fatigue warning as we play the bottom of the 5th, has not pitched well. He has walked 2, struck out 2, and 83 pitches through 18 batters. Franco is 0 for 2. Base hit, left field. So Greenwell will pick it up. And Franco has a single, his 32 steals. Terry Francona, who had that error in the first, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Boddicker throws to first, and Franco laughs at him. Now we'll go to the plate. Might be 2 here. Reed to Barrett for 1, and Benzinger for 2. So Boddicker induced the double play, 6-4-3, 2 out. For Joe Carter, who is 0 for 2 with a K. Ground ball to Barrett. Marty over to Benzinger. And that is a 1-2-3 inning. Kind of. Not really. Works for me. No runs, a hit, which is not a 1-2-3 inning run. No errors. We go to the 6th. Indians 4, Red Sox 3. So Reed, Gedman, and Boggs to face Nichols, who might have a couple more innings left in him. If the Red Sox can do due diligence, they can get to that Cleveland pen. Here's your due diligence. Francona makes another error. That's his 2nd of the game. That was a scorcher that took a hop off there. And Jody safe for Gedman, who's going to square and bunt. 1 for 2 with a single. He's going to bunt. Bunt is down. Allenson throws to Franco, and the tying run is on second. With 1 out for Wade Boggs, who has a single, has walked twice, driven in his 82nd, and scored his 120th. Nichols, 27 batters deep, 98 pitches, 5 1/3, 8 hits, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Yeah, I agree, Todd. That Francona kid might want to think about getting into coaching, because he's not getting into Cooperstown as a player, and no one's going to believe he has an American Express card. Pitch to Boggs. They're going to walk him for Marty Barrett. That's an interesting call. So Boggs gets another walk. Boggs has enough hall passes to supply an entire middle school in Cincinnati. I think Moeller, which is where Ken Griffey Jr. is going, right? Actually, in this point, Griffey is headed for Seattle. Marty Barrett is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and driven in a run. Line drive, foul. And an empty seat from Cleveland made that catch, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Actually, the Red Sox have a lot of fans here, because remember, they can clinch with a win. Including a rather rowdy bunch out in left center from Saugus. The 1-2 to Barrett. Walked him. And so the bases are loaded for Dwight Evans, who was 0 for 3 with a strikeout. So Gedman on Reed on third, Boggs on second, Barrett on first, and Dewey with a 6-game hitting streak. It is 4-3 Cleveland, 1 out, top of the 6th. Got him! Evans chased a curve. 2 out for Mike Greenwell, who is 0 for 3. He does have 2 grand slams on the year, with an RBI. Dollar bleacher seats, Todd B says. Very generous of you. Yep, I think I've told you this story before. I saw Ken Griffey Jr. take batting practice. What a show. What a show. He was hurt, so he didn't play. It was a doubleheader between Vermont and Glens Falls, who were the Tigers that year. Oh my goodness. There's a sound that a ball makes, and you know it's hit pure. And at 17 years old, he had that. Pitch to Greenwell. Ground ball up the middle. Franco throws to Francona, and the Red Sox cannot score. They threaten, they load the bases, and get out of it. They've left on 10. Can't get much more Red Sox than that. After 5.5, Cleveland 4, Boston 3. So Clark, Snyder, and Hall, and Boddicker pretty much down to a base runner at this point. Got him. That's 3 for Mike. A 1-2 fastball swung on and missed. Corey Snyder is 2 for 2. He has singled, doubled. He's driven in 3. Remember, he cleared the bases in the third with that double. He now has 83 RBI and a run scored. Snyder hits a ground ball to Boggs, who throws it to Todd B. And there is 2 out. From Mel Hall, who's 1 for 2. He is singled and driven in a run. Also on that Vermont Mariner team in 88, Omar Vizquel was at short. And a center fielder who's no longer with us, by the name of Chuck Carr. He ended up, I believe, in Milwaukee and in Colorado in the expansion draft. He had the speed of a cheetah. He was fast. Pitch to Hall. Ground ball to Barrett. Behind the bag. Over to Benzinger. And we are through 6. No runs, no hits, no errors. Cleveland Indians 4, Boston Red Sox 3. Saw Joey Bell in Canton. Oh, yeah. Joey just, yeah. And don't call me Joey, just was a physical beast. He made contact, ball go far. Todd B is 1 for 3 with a single and a strikeout. Nichols still in the ball game as we start the 7th. Base hit right field. Snyder will grab it. And the Red Sox have the tying run on, and we're going to the pen. Nichols out. Don Gordon. Any relation to Jeff? Coming in. For Gordon, it's his 42nd appearance. 3-4 with a 4.86 ERA. Fastball pitcher at 85. Tim says, the sad part, some of these late 80s, early 90s Akron Canton teams, they could have a heck of a 7-game series with a big club. I'm sure. What were they, double or triple A? Gordon, last pitch shoot 2 days ago against the Tigers in a 5-4 win, which I believe knocked Detroit out. He went 1 innings, 6 pitches, allowed a hit. Overall, not a bad year. 50 innings, 47 hits, 29 runs, 27 earned. As I get comfortable again, 6 home runs allowed. He's walked 20 and struck out 12. Ellis Burks is 0 for 3. Benzinger on first. Burks up the middle. Bell only play is to first. Francona keeps his foot on the bag, and Todd B goes to second. So the tying run in scoring position for Jim Rice, who is 1 for 3 with a run scored, double A. Triple A was either in Buffalo or Charlotte. Okay. So Rice the go-ahead run. Benzinger the tying run. 4-3 Cleveland, 7th inning, 1 out. Base hit left field. Hall will pick it up. Benzinger takes a long look and Hall bobbles it. The game is tied. And Rice is into second. And for Hall, that's a 6th error of the year. The go-ahead run is the captain. And Jody Reed at the plate. Jody is 2 for 3. He has singled twice and scored. Four for the score. Gordon deals. Base hit left field. Rice around third. Hall and Rice is going to score. Or try it. What's Hall going to do? He is going to throw it in, and the Red Sox are up 5-4. Jody Reed has 3 hits today. And again, the Red Sox are now 9 outs from the pennant. Gedman 1 for 2. Rich has a single and a sacrifice bunt. You're not going to use Lee Arthur for 9 outs, but you can use him for 6. Right back to Gordon. And Reed doesn't move, 2 out. For Wade Boggs, who has walked 3 times, twice on the pipe. He has a single, an RBI, and a run scored. Gordon, 5-4 Boston, 2 out, top of the 7th. Pitch to Boggs. Ground ball to Franco. He'll go to Bell, and it's stretch time. Boston 5, Cleveland 4. Well, Boddicker said he was fine. The outcome box said he was not. And the man that you all love to watch is going to come in. So Bob Stanley will come in. 63rd time this season, 5-2, a 3.35 ERA. He is 34 years old, a fastball pitcher at 84, and a ground ball pitcher. He last pitched against the Jays 2 days ago, and he went 6 outs in a win. He didn't get it, but he went. 34 pitches. He gave up a run in the 8th. 2 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. 102 for the Steamer, 105 hits, 42 runs, 38 earned, 5 homers, 40 walks, and 58 strikeouts. It'll be Allenson, Jacoby, and Bell scheduled here for Cleveland in the 7th. Andy 1 for 2 with a single. Stanley starts the 7th. Ground ball to Reed, over to Benzinger. 1 out. Lee Smith doing some stretching out there in the bullpen for Boston. Jacoby is 0 for 2. Red Sox win. The American League East will be over. Pitch to Jacoby. Line drive, left side, and someone from Danvers made that catch. Again, we told you the Red Sox are traveling well. A 1-2 count to Jacoby, 1 out. Stanley deals. There's a ground ball to Barrett, over to Benzinger, and there's 2 out for Jay Bell. Jay is 0 for 1. He has walked, scored, and struck out. 5 runs, 11 hits, an error for Boston, and they've left on 11. The Indians, who can finish the season at 500, 4 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, and they've left on just 2. And Paul Zuvella will pinch hit. Zuvella as a pinch hitter at 333. Overall, 243 and 7 RBI. Stanley deals. Got away from Gedman on strike 3. The throw down to Benzinger, and that's the inning. So Brad Havens will come in to pitch. Richie's out there singing in left center. After 7, no runs, no hits, no errors. Boston 5, Cleveland 4. So Havens, the lefty, over from the Dodgers, making his 34th appearance. He's 6-3 with a 3.42 ERA. 29 years old, fastball at 86 and a fly ball plus pitcher. Havens last pitched on the 26th against the Tigers in an 8-4 win here in Cleveland. 2/3 of an inning, 11 pitches and a hit. 55 1/3, 52 hits, 27 runs, 21 earned, 7 homers, 7 walks, and 22 strikeouts. Marty Barrett is 2 for 3. Marty has singled twice, walked once, and drove home a run. The Red Sox would love a run. Won't get it there. He strikes out. A 1-2 fastball got him swinging. 1 out for Dewey, who has struck out twice. He's 0 for 4. Fly ball, left center field. Carter, 2 out. For Mike Greenwell, who is 0 for 4 with an RBI. Stanley will start the 8th, and if anybody should reach, then it's Smith. Where players went to end their careers, Cleveland in the late 80s. Greenwell base hit up the middle. So a 2-out single. Todd B is 2 for 4. If the Red Sox hang on, as Benzinger has singled twice, whether just because I know how the rotation goes, in the 2 games in Boston, it would be Bruce Hurst in Game 1 and Roger Clemens in Game 2. Boddicker would start Game 3 either in Minnesota or Kansas City. Pitch to Benzinger. There's a long drive to left, but Hall is there. and that will be all right. No runs, a hit. The Red Sox have left on 12. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's Boston 5, Cleveland 4. So, top of the lineup for the Indians, Franco, Francona, and Carter. Julio is 1 for 3 with a single. Waiting for a John Rocker sighting. Wasn't John in school still at this in 1988? Pitch to Franco. Ground ball to Reed. Jody's got it over to Benzinger, and there is 1 out. So here's Terry Francona, 1 for 3. He does have a home run on the real year. He has scored once and driven into a double play. Well, remember, I don't know when the Red Sox actually clinched. It's one of the rare cases where we're going to have a team do what they did. Clemens goes tomorrow. I don't think they clinched it yet. And I think they clinched either Friday or Saturday because they threw everyone for like an inning on Sunday. I know that Hurst will go game 1 because he pitched Wednesday or yesterday. By the way, in game 1 in Cincinnati, it'll be Dwight Gooden because he pitched on Wednesday as well. So you don't save a Mercedes, Todd B says, a.k.a. Bob Stanley, you drive it. Pitch to Francona. One legend to another, and Stanley will come out on the single from Francona. So Stanley actually does a good job. He goes 4 outs. Willie Upshaw's going to pinch hit or pinch run at first. For Joe Carter, and Joe Morgan says he's going to pitch to him, so Stanley will stay in. Carter is 0 for 3 with a K. This is one of those moments that I could just eat my head. Gedman reminds Stanley, ground ball, just palm something. He does, and that'll do it. So first and second, 1 out. And here comes Lee Smith. He is 10-7. He has had a magnificent year. A 2.04 ERA, his 67th appearance. He's blown 5 saves. He has had 39 save chances, not including this, and has saved 34. He is second in the American League in saves. He only pitched once in the Toronto series. He came in to hold a 1-run game up. That was the Monday game. He threw 9 pitches. So he really hasn't thrown hard in days. 101 in the 3rd innings. 65 hits. 30 runs. 23 earned. 6 homers. He's walked 40 times and struck out 99. There also, Dave, will be a couple off days between the end of the season and the start of the playoffs. In fact, the Red Sox will have 2 full days. Their series, or the ALCS, will start on a Wednesday. The National League will start on a Tuesday. So it's not like you finish one day and then play the next. Clark is 0 for 2. He has walked and struck out. First and second, tying run on. Base hit left center field. Greenwell will pick it up. Upshaw can run. Jody Reed made a bad play. Greenwell's thrown to the plate. It's going to be close. They got him. Oh, baby, they got him. Greenwell throws him out. And there's 2 out. It's never easy being a Sox fan, is it? What a play by Greenwell. He held on to it. Did Gedman. Corey Snyder 2 for 3. He has single-doubled, and that double cleared the bases for 3 in the 3rd. So Snyder gives Gedman a moment to gather himself. I'd have done the same thing if I was Cleveland. So 2 out, 2 on in a 1-run game. Clark and Carter on. Fly ball. Left side. Boggs into foul territory. Makes the catch. We go to the 9th. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors. After 8, Boston 5, Cleveland 4. Oh, my word. So it'll be Bergs, Rice, and Reed. The Red Sox would love a run. Havens to start the inning. It'll be Hall, Allenson, and Jacoby. Zuvella, by the way, is 6 at short, and if anyone should reach, he would bat. Pitch to Burks, who's 0 for 4. Ground ball to third. Jacoby over to Upshaw. 1 out. For Jim Ed is 2 for 4. Jim has singled twice and scored twice. Havens rocks and deals. Fly ball, right center field. Snyder moving over. 2 out. For Jody Reed, who's had himself a day. Not been a great day in the field for him, but he is 3 for 4 in the ball game. Has an RBI, has a run scored. Havens deals. Base hit. It's a 4-hit day for Jody Reed. So Rich Gedman is 1 for 3. He will stay in the game. He is singled and grounded into a double play and also bunted. Allenson and Havens have a word. Reed isn't going anywhere. Pitch to Gedman. Base hit, right side. And Reed is going to go to third. Dare Snyder to make a throw. And nope, that's cut off by Franco. So here comes Wade Boggs, who is 1 for 2. He has an RBI, a run scored, and he's walked 3 times. Barrett on deck. The Red Sox trying to get home another run. They've had left on 12 today. Pitch to Boggs. Ground ball to Franco, and they're going to leave on 14 runners. Can you believe that? Anyway, it's not what you didn't do, it's what you did do. And if the Red Sox get 3 more outs, they did do it. We've waited 6 years for this moment. I won't get emotional if they get the 3 outs. I did the other day because it was Bruce Hurst that did it. And Hurst was a personal favorite of mine. And if they had won in 86, he'd have a statue and his number would be retired at Fenway. Anyway, Mel Hall, Allenson, and Jacoby. Mel is 1 for 3. He has an RBI and a single. Cleveland has 8 hits. And remember, they're 2. If they take 2 this weekend, they have a winning year. So Smith is ready. Pitch to Hall. Ground or line drive. Foul. Red Sox fans have moved down. Somebody from Hyannis Sport made that catch, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Smith winds and deals. Base hit, left center field. That's going to be extra. Oh, my word. Greenwell made a bad play to throw to Barrett, and Mill has his 31st double of the year. The city of Walpole appreciates being left on base. So the tying run is on with nobody out for Andy Allenson. They're not going to walk him. I thought about it. Ground ball to third. Boggs looks Hall back. The throw to first. It's going to be close. It's an error. Wade Boggs makes an error. And it's runners on the corners and nobody out for Brooke Jacoby. They're playing in. Zuvella on deck. Tying run on third. Nobody out. The winning run is on first. And Carmen Castillo is going to pinch hit. As a pinch hitter, 231, 2 homers, and 7 RBI. Overall, 230, 5 homers, and 26 RBI. Nobody out. Tying run on third. Castillo, ground ball to Boggs. His play is to first. 1 out. Allenson moves up to second. He is the winning run. Now, do you walk Zuvella to set up the double play? I think you got it. Someone want to talk me out of that? Although my temptation is to let Smith rear back and do it. So what would you do, gang? Are you pitching to Zuvella or are you giving him first? A single wins the ball game for Cleveland. Decisions. The Indians fans say pitch to him. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the outcome box. If Zuvella wins the game, y'all get a box of Tipperillos. Smith, deep breath, 1 out. Winning run is on second. Tying run on third. And Ron Kittle's going to pinch hit. Kittle, who can homer. As a pinch hitter, 357, 2 homers and 7 RBI. And they're not going to give Kittle the chance to win the ballgame. Oops. I hit the wrong button. So it'll be, as soon as it lets me do it, 4 wide ones to Kittle. They have now set up a double play. Franco is 1 for 4. You weren't going to do it, and then you put up the power hitter at the plate. Kittle has my speed. So bases loaded, 1 out. 9th inning. Kittle played his double-A ball in Glens Falls for the White Sox. Franco is 1 for 4. Here's the pitch. Struck him out. And now we're down to the last out. And it really is last chance saloon cardiac time here in Cleveland for Willie Upshaw. Hitting .243, 12 homers and 59 RBI. Smith gonna go from the wind here. You couldn't script this any better. He winds, well, Gedman's gonna have a word. He winds and fires. Strike 3, the Red Sox have won the East. Oh my goodness, my heart couldn't take anymore. Gedman and Smith hug on the mound. They did this in the most possible Red Sox way. They strand 14. In 3 hours and 38 minutes, the Boston Red Sox have won the American League East. They've actually now won 6 more games than they did in real life. 5 runs, 14 hits, 2 errors for Boston. 4 runs, 9 hits, and 3 errors for Cleveland. The Red Sox left on 14. Cleveland leaves on 7. We know 3 of the 4 teams now. Boddicker did not pitch well, but he's a 7-game winner. Thank you. We're trying for years to get the Red Sox in, and we're finally going to do it. 6 innings for Boddicker, 6 hits, 4 runs all earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Stanley faced 6 batters and retired 4. And then Smith, an inning and 2/3, 2 hits, a walk, and those 2 big strikeouts at the end. He was pretty much almost at the end of it. Gordon takes a loss. 3 and 5, he blew his 5th save. Havens, 2 innings, actually didn't pitch too bad. 3 hits and no runs. The Indians' defense give up 2 ordered runs. And so there is an X now by Boston. So that doesn't change. So Minnesota and Kansas City is who we have left. We'll tell you the game 1 pitchers for the Reds, because they only get 1 off day, is going to be Tom Browning, because he pitches tomorrow. So it'll be Browning and Jackson in New York, or at home. So Browning and Jackson will go, 2 lefties will face the Mets against I imagine it'll be wow. The Mets are off today, so Gooden and Cone. So Dwight Gooden against Tom Browning in game 1, and then David Cone versus Danny Jackson in game 2. Right? Yeah. And Ron Darling will probably face Jose Rio in New York in game 3. So that's how they'll line up for that rotation in the National League Championship Series. The Red Sox Clemens goes tomorrow, so he would go Wednesday. So Clemens in game 1, Hurst in game 2, and Boddicker in game 3 in the American League West City. So Clemens and Hurst will get the call at Fenway, because that series starts at Fenway. And so that's pretty much all we can tell you. Well, thank you so much for being with us for the last 2 hours and 6 minutes. The Red Sox have won the American League East at 95-64, and they have a 4-game lead with 3 to play. So they can't be caught. They have won the division. I have enough time to tell you who won the rest of the games. Baltimore beat the Yankees 8-4. Atlanta beats Houston 3-2. Cal Ripken, by the way, 2 homers and drove in 4. Atlanta beats Houston 3-2 in 13. And Texas beats Seattle 7-3. Well, here's what we're going to do. We can start taking games off the board. We're going to do a split day doubleheader. We're going to go tomorrow night at 7 Eastern for Minnesota and California. Mike Witt versus Frank Viola. And then Wednesday at noon Eastern, Kansas City and Chicago. If the Twins win and Kansas City loses, then the Twins will have clinched a tie. So that's where we are. It is the Twins and the Royals, whose cuisine will reign supreme. That'll do it. The Red Sox have won the American League East, and so we're going to have 2 of the 4 teams be real. The Mets and the Red Sox did what they were supposed to do. The Reds win the West by a healthy margin, and we don't know about Minnesota. So once again, it'll be Gooden and Browning in game 1 in Cincinnati, followed by David Cone and Danny Jackson in game 2 in Cincinnati. We know the Red Sox will go with Clemens and Hurst for the first 2 at Fenway. And as soon as we know who they're going to play, we can figure out the rest of the schedule from there. Thank you so much for hanging out with us this afternoon. I'm Ron Juckett. We will talk to you tomorrow night for the Twins and the Angels from Minneapolis. Have a good day, everybody.